Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and today I bring to you a video on the best Nightshade Paolumu armor guide, the best meta gear. So this video analyzes the armor of the new subspecies of Dancing in the Tempest. Nightshade Paolumu has some really great armor pieces that are worth building. Thanks to Nightshade Paolumu, status sneak attack 5 is now possible. So status sneak attack level 5 will be the new status build up and infliction meta, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that will be the new status effect meta, and status sneak attack 5 is absolutely amazing. Alright, first we're going to start off with the Nightshade Paolumu armor forge stats and cost. Of course, before you even think about using these, you need to make them first. So, the Nightshade Paolumu armor starts at grade 5, with their base defense being at 82. And here are its forge requirements. You need 4 Nightshade Paolumu pelts, which are rarity 1, 7 Makalite ores, which are rarity 2, 2 Nightshade Paolumu wings, which are rarity 3, and 2 Nightshade Paolumu prime skills, which are rarity 4, along with 1500 Zenny. Moving on, we have the Nightshade Paolumu armor grade 6 cost. So, fortunately, it doesn't take too many materials to get the Nightshade Paolumu armor to grade 6 from a new forge. That's because they start off at grade 5. And upgrading the Vambraces or Greaves of Nightshade Paolumu to grade 6 will unlock their secondary skill or increase their primary skill to level 2. Usually it's grade 6 across the board, but with new subspecies etc. it started getting to grade 8. Unfortunately, there's only 2 pieces that are grade 6 for the Nightshade Paolumu armor. And in addition, upgrading the Nightshade Paolumu armor to grade 6 will also unlock its layered armor. So if you want to rock this cool black hoodie, poison looking, I don't know what you want to call it, but you know, it actually looks pretty cool if you want to rock it. Also, black is my favorite, one of my favorite colors, so there's that as well. And on to the next one, we got grade 6, now we have grade 8. This is Nightshade Paolumu armor's grade 8 cost. Upgrading any piece of Nightshade Paolumu gear to grade 8 will take a lot of materials. If you take a look right here, it's a whole lot. But the reason being is you want to get to grade 8 is because upgrading to grade 8 is necessary to unlock Nightshade Paolumu's Helm, Mail, and Coil's level 2 primary skill. So you go from level 1 to level 2. In order to do that with 3 pieces, you need to get them to grade 8. And this is currently the set with the most grade 8 required pieces to max out their armor with 3. Puke was the first to do it with its helm, and now for Nightshade Paolumu, you need 3 of them at grade 8. Upgrading some equipment to grade 8 is also necessary to unlock their drift smelt slot, so it's not like it's completely useless or like completely a huge cost, like you don't get 1 benefit from it, you do get 2. Because a lot of armor, the best armor in Monster Hunter now, you do need to have them at grade 8, so luckily you have to do this anyways if you want to drift smelt into these pieces. But there is a very fortunate thing about this. Luckily, Nightshade Paolumu gear uses Wyvern Gem Shards as their rarity 6. So it's not a unique rarity 6 like Devil Joe, Zenogre, and Mizutsune. You have the typical Wyvern Gem Shard, which is amazing. So since you can get that from any 8-star or above monster, except for the ones that I mentioned that have special rarity 6s, you probably have some of them queued up, or you're likely trying to get some of them right now to max your weapon. Or you could decide to put them in your armor if you want to put them into your Nightshade Paolumu armor to unlock their drift smelt slots and to get them to grade 8. And now we move on to analyzing the actual Nightshade Paolumu armor, starting off with the helmet. This is the Nightshade Paolumu helmet analysis, or the helm. Here's its equipment skills and effects. You get Rude Awakener level 1, and that upgrades to level 2 at grade 8. This increases the damage of the first attack dealt to sleeping monsters by 60% at level 2. So at level 2 you get it at 60%, level 3 you get it at 100%. So you double your damage with Rude Awakener, level 3, which is actually pretty dang, that's a lot. So if you were to special skill, say your special skill did 1,000, well you're going to do 2,000. So you could do big numbers with Rude Awakener and with Sleep. So that combination will do a ton of damage. And its drift smelt slot is also unlocked at grade 8. So like I mentioned before, you get a double bonus. So you get level 2 at grade 8 and the drift smelt slot at grade 8. Unfortunately, it's not the best piece of gear for this set. However, it can do big damage with the first attack after putting a monster to sleep. So you can't get status sneak attack 5, but you can get Rude Awakener level 3, which if you combine it can do a ton of damage. It's more so for gimmick and fun, or when we get status sneak attack or other really good drift melts in the future, this piece will be really good later on. On to the next one, and we have the Nightshade Paolumu Mail Analysis. His equipment skill and its effects. We get Focus level 1, which upgrades to level 2 at grade 8. He also gets Sleep Resistance level 1 at grade 6. This shortens the charging time of charge attacks by 10% and increases the fill rate of the longsword and charge blade gauge by 10%. There's also a 20% chance of preventing sleep status when damaged by a sleep element attack, thanks to Sleep Resistance. And its Drift Melt slot is unlocked at grade 8. This is the best piece of armor in the set. Focus level 2 allows for bow users to have more flexibility, and for Focus 5 builds and other weapon types that use Focus. Focus 5 is absolutely amazing, and it is the standard meta for bows, and also for greatsword users if you like to charge really fast. But with that being said, this is what makes it amazing. You have another piece of level 2 focus with the mail, and you also have sleep resistance as a bonus. So definitely the best piece of armor in this set, and one that was definitely for you bow mains and for everyone looking to go to the bow. You were rejoicing when you saw this armor, and you're definitely going to get this to grade 8, like I am. Next up, we have the Nightshade Paolumu Vambrace's analysis. Its equipment skills and effects are Sleep Attack level 1, and it upgrades to level 2 at grade 6. This increases your weapon's sleep build-up value by 75. Its Drift Melt slot is also unlocked at grade 5. Sadly, the worst piece in the Nightshade Paolumu series. As long as status sneak attack is meta, the status build-up elemental attacks will be secondary. Don't get me wrong, it's great. Sleep attack at 2 is actually really good. The problem is, with status sneak attack being in meta, unless it's drift smeltable in the future, this isn't going to be super great. So ideally, you'd want to drift smelt status sneak attack whenever it becomes available into this piece of armor. But again, until that becomes a thing, status sneak attack and other elemental attacks that give you elemental status buildup will be secondary. So they're going to be a bonus, and the first will be status sneak attack. On to the next piece, and we have the Nightshade Paolumu Coil Analysis. And here's its equipment skills and effects. You have Sneak Attack level 1, and you get level 2 at grade 8. You also get Evade Extender level 1 at grade 6. This increases damage by 15% when you attack a monster from behind. And Evade Extender also very slightly extends evasion distance. And its Drift Melt slot unlocks at grade 8. It's an okay piece of armor. Expensive, but if status sneak attack becomes drift smeltable in the future, this armor piece will automatically be meta. That's because status sneak attack, as much as I give it grief, the only reason I give it grief is because unless it's paired with status sneak attack, it's not good. So in order for it to be good, you must have these two together. And it complements the Nightshade Paolumu's weapon skill, which is also sneak attack. So this plus the weapon, you get level 3 sneak attack. So in the future, when status sneak attack becomes drift smeltable, this is one of the pieces that would be really good. Just because you get that damage bonus, and Evade Extender is also amazing. Even with 1 level, it allows you to get behind a monster relatively quickly and allows you to reposition much faster, allowing you to dodge attacks and getting behind a monster so you can take advantage of status sneak attack. So again, until drift smelting, status sneak attack becomes a thing. Unfortunately, this thing's just okay. But when it does, this armor piece will automatically be meta. And last but not least, we got them legs. You know, them really good legs. Those really cool looking legs, even though those look like Uggs as far as one of the... Yeah, if you look at the left side, those totally look like Ugg boots. Ish. But yeah, this is the Nightshade Paolumu Greaves analysis. Here's its equipment skill and effects. You got Rude Awakener level 1, and that upgrades to status sneak attack along with it with level 1 at grade 6. This increases the damage of the first attack dealt to sleeping monsters by 30%, and it makes it ever so slightly more probable to inflict status element buildup when attacking a monster from behind thanks to status sneak attack. And its Drift Melt slot unlocks at grade 5, which is really great because you know what? This is arguably the best or second best piece in the Nightshade Paolumu set, because this gives access to status sneak attack level 5 and becoming part of the elemental status build-up meta. Status Sneak Attack 5 is now possible. I have to make a video on it, but having tested it, it's really, really good. And it's definitely the meta, like I mentioned, for poison, sleep, paralysis, and for future status buildup elements that come out in the future, like Blast. But Status Sneak Attack 5 is absolutely amazing, and we've been waiting for it forever. But with Status Sneak Attack 5, the reason it's so good, you essentially don't need any of the elemental attack bonuses. You don't need poison attack, sleep attack, paralysis attack, etc. Just because with Status Sneak Attack, it's enough on its own to just build up those status ailments. In order to inflict status, you must build it up first. And Status Sneak Attack 5 is the meta, and it's absolutely amazing to do that. So again, arguably the best or second best piece of this armor set. Moving on, here's my overall analysis of the Nightshade Paolumu armor. Most of the armor is just cool for the layered armor, honestly. That's the thing. The problem is, until, like I mentioned, Status Sneak Attack becomes Drift Smeltable, the Mail and the Greaves are the two best pieces in this set. The Mail gives Focus level 2 and is huge for bow mains. The Greaves allows you to build Status Sneak Attack 5, becoming the status ailment meta, and I already went off on how that's really great. Unfortunately, the rest of the armor is only worth it for the layered armor look or when Status Sneak Attack becomes Drift Smeltable in the future. It's also worthy to mention that a lot of these pieces take grade 8, so overall it's a really expensive set if you want to invest and max it out to full power. Hopefully this video helps you decide what to build for the Nightshade Paolumu armor set. This armor set is expensive as most of it requires grade 8, but the skills are totally worth it. So, yes, it's very expensive, but like I mentioned, the Mail, totally worth it, and for Status Sneak Attack for the Greaves, totally worth it, and when Drift Smelting, Status Sneak Attack becomes meta in the future, you're gonna want to consider these pieces for Drift Smelting. And don't worry, if you didn't buy that paid ticket, Nightshade Paolumu will return to the field in future events. We've already seen Pink Rathian come out like 15 times already. So Nightshade Paolumu will return and it's going to come back. So don't worry about it. It's going to come back. You'll be able to hunt it for your first time, or like me and everybody else that paid for that ticket, we're going to enjoy smacking this sleeping bat to oblivion again and again. Please do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Good luck on your drops. Hopefully y'all are excited for it to come back. Or for those of you that didn't, this is your first time, hopefully you're excited to get your Status Sneak Attack 5 gear or your Mail or whatever you want to build from this set. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.